Welcome to this client case study and interview, I guess you could call it, though it's a bit funny calling it that because we've just shared such a journey together, Adam. This is my journey of working closely with Adam over a year. And as you can see from the title that I've come up with here, how law firm owner Adam goes from feeling overwhelmed to free of all billable work, increases firm-wide performance by 46% revenue with the same headcount, breaks his fear of public speaking, and wins numerous awards in 1 year. Adam, a lot of people watching this are going to be thinking, yeah, right.
Yes. Well, first of all, it's nice to be back for a second time because the first time we attempted to record this interview, Bam forgot to hit the record button.
I
And I thought I'd
did.
just point that out.
I did. And also we didn't have access to like the numbers, the financial increase. And it's like I'm really about that. I want my clients to create extraordinary lives, but also make more money. Because what's the point if you're living a good life, but then you lose loads of money, right?
Right. And to your point about, yeah, right. I mean, the fundamental thing that I've learned, if I was to distill it into a kind of neat summary, is that getting myself off the tools has had a tremendous impact in virtually every aspect of the firm, from
So
the way it's run operationally, financial performance, culture, um, recognition.
yeah, great. So before you go into that, just tell the viewer,
Sure.
who are you? What's your law firm and what do you guys do?
So I'm Adam Creasy. I'm the managing director of Adam Benedict. We are a multi-award winning um, legal history making law firm now. And our philosophy and our mission is to upend the legal industry and the traditional way in which law firms have operated in the past, through principally through our membership model, which is a type of subscription where we can provide our members with ongoing in-house legal support for a fraction of the cost of your typical ad hoc legal work, reactive legal work, with lots and lots of added value. It's a win for the client because they get that certainty. They know what they're getting in exchange for their
And
investment, and we win as well because we're able to increase our revenue streams and our revenue amounts with the same headcount.
yeah, nice. So what's the services that you offer? What legal sector?
So we are predominantly corporate and litigation. We do have experience in other fields. I'm obviously well known now, I think, for my work in construction, having broken new ground under the Building Safety Act. We also have a strong regulatory offering. We've done employment work and whatnot. The only things we don't really touch are crime, family, immigration, conveyancing.
Nice.
But we have a fantastic referral network and strong partnerships with other law firms, actually, which has been really great. That's really come on a lot this year because I have been able to meet people and share ideas and build relationships, which is what
Nice.
I'm
But
really all about.
if we go right to the beginning, here we've got a list of the reasons why you wanted to work with me. And it was here, I've got here, have to drop everything for my clients. Don't have financial freedom. Paranoia in meetings, some panic attacks. I'm slowly killing myself. Not going to sleep on the screen at night. Doom scroll a lot. I've let myself go. Personal well-being just wasn't there. Bad dietary management. And I don't do anything I want, like playing golf, playing the piano or guitar or recording music. What was it like for you before you even knew about me as a law firm owner?
Very overwhelming, and couldn't really see the wood from the trees, and couldn't work out why the law firm that I wanted to create, which remains a work in progress. It's no one's perfect, but uh, it, I couldn't work out why we weren't achieving what I wanted to achieve as quickly as I wanted to achieve it. I'm quite a visionary thinker, and I work, on the sort of firm's wider strategy now. And some of those things you've just mentioned are kind of unthinkable to me now. It's really weird hearing that
Yeah,
back, I've got to say.
yeah, and that's
Um,
what's fun about,
for
such a
example, the
conversation is
the
to
the the,
reflect
the
on how far you've come, right?
yeah,
Because
well, the piano is permanently up in the kitchen now. So, yeah, I'm definitely getting my
because you
practice in.
were like one of the primarily fee earners doing lots and lots of billable work for lots of clients, weren't you yourself?
Yeah, I had at one point, I think at the at its peak, I think I had 112 files in my name, which is just ridiculous, completely unsustainable. And I was working, into the early hours, managing somehow. I've got to give myself some credit, but um, you know, obviously we've grown really, really quickly, and um, but we've now got quite a settled team. Um,
Well,
and
come back to the beginning. Like, how was this affecting your relationships at home?
Yeah, not good. I'm conscious my wife might see this video. Um, I don't think I was particularly nice to be around during that time. I was constantly tired, out of shape. Um, uh, yeah, perhaps a little confused,
And how
but
did it leave you feeling with not being able to see how you could create the law firm that you wanted?
frustrated. Um, quite upset at times, quite
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
thinking we've got all the materials. I just can't seem to piece them together.
Interesting.
Um,
Yeah.
so I definitely needed somebody on my shoulder who was holding me accountable, giving me clarity, helping me see the wood from the trees, and giving me um, that sort of the mechanics, I suppose, of getting from A to B. I think a lot of founders that I speak to now, all over the world, actually, from the States to I've just been in Dublin at an event where a lot of people are saying, I just can't seem to get myself out of the daily grind. And
Mm,
I don't want to, and it's that sort of law firm owner's fallacy of I don't want to let my clients down.
yeah.
Whereas now, when a client says to me, well, I want you working on my matter, my response is, look, I need to steer the ship and and so I'm going to give you a better client experience with my amazing team if I'm allowed to do that. If I'm just focusing on your matter, we're going to be compromised in terms of service capability because I'm not available as much as I was,
Mm.
and because I'm doing other things to make your experience as a client better. And you're going to get frustrated at me, and it's not going to be the same as when I was fee earning day to day. It's not the same relationship. So, at the power of saying no, I've really learned over the past year as well.
Yeah, nice. So,
Um,
so coming back to it, so there you were, frustrated, couldn't see how to piece it together. Then how did we get into conversation?
I think I contacted you directly on LinkedIn. I liked you have an infectious energy, and I thought I need somebody that is gonna first of all someone that's going to make me feel positive, even when the chips are down, and allow me to see the bright side was really important. And so, yeah, I approached you on LinkedIn. We connected, and
The first thing was
we
where
had.
I asked you if you wanted to review my book text before it went to publish, didn't we?
Oh, yes, you are right. Yes, sorry. It's
And I
the,
have a copy of the very book now in which you are featured. So yeah,
yeah.
thanks so much.
There were things that you were saying in there that I knew that I needed to do. I just couldn't work out. When you're in the thick of it, it's
Yeah.
very difficult. Like I keep saying, it's difficult to see the wood from the trees. And I needed somebody to be there and say, you know, this is how we're going to build some strategies that you can that are in bite-sized chunks that you can live by. That are going to get you out of this, and so that was really attractive to me. And you sort of said, "Let's give it a go." I agreed, here we
Yeah,
are.
yeah. So from reading the book, you sent a message saying, "Yeah, we've kind of got it all covered." And then we had a more in-depth conversation, and then that was when you realized you were interested to keep speaking to me.
Yeah, that's right.
What was that initial conversation with me like? What was it that made you want to speak to me again after that?
I think it's just you hold a mirror up very well and you say, and you challenged me a lot. If you know all of this stuff, then kind of why aren't you doing it? And I don't think it was arrogance. I knew what everything you were saying was making perfect sense. I just couldn't seem to get myself out of the trap.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just it was yeah, like a breath of fresh air. Someone, you know, I guess sort of saying to you, I'm going to give you those strategies to enable you to get out of it. And I started seeing when we started working together progress pretty rapidly. And
What were some
the
of the initial sort of breakthroughs you noticed?
a lot of my problem, I think, is that my personality type is an empath, and so I had a real problem with saying no, creating boundaries, um, and having and listening. Um, Again, I'm conscious my wife is probably watching this, but I had certainly had a tendency to need to be right all the time, and that was actually creating problems for me and for teammates
I mean,
because
you
that's not
just
how you
saying
lead people.
you just saying that like live on camera just takes great courage, and it demonstrates like true wisdom with the ability to be that aware of, when we're that aware of ourselves and where we are
Mm.
ineffective, that's halfway there to a breakthrough, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was about to go on and say, I think it was around, so we started working together in the October, and it must have been around the
2024.
December 2024, must have been around the December we had our first what we termed a transformational session, where we kind of getting to know each other a bit more and the relationship getting deeper. And then I kept running into these obstacles, which were all self-made. And again, you sort of held up a mirror and said, let's actually get to the root of this now. We've known each other for a couple of months. Let's actually work out what the hell's going on. And there were things that basically were had happened in my past about how I valued myself, how I thought other people saw me, how I wanted to be seen by other people,
Yeah.
that were just getting in my way, holding me back, and um, and stunting my progress really as a leader, as a founder,
And
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 that was really
what became possible for you with those insights?
well, I realized that I none of it was true and that I'd made it all up in my
Yeah.
own head. And actually, yes, we're however far along we are now, year and a bit on. And that person to me is now, and you called this at the time, you said in a year's time you're going to have made so much progress. That person to me now is virtually unrecognizable. I am the same bunch of cells and everything. I'm the same person. I like the same a lot of the same things. I haven't changed fundamentally, but just in terms of how I see um, my role in this uh, well firm and industry now is as a leader, and I can say that with a straight face. I don't think I could have done that, even though I was leading the firm. I don't think I could have done that, you know, 14 months ago, or however long ago it was.
Well, I've actually got here a little message that you kindly wrote for me in a comment on LinkedIn. It says, "It has been a pleasure working with you in 2025, Dan. If your doubters care to look for social proof that your leadership and coaching skills do work, I'm happy to announce myself, who won Construction Lawyer of the Year 2025, and my firm, which won Best New Law Firm 2025, Construction Firm of the Year 2025, Times Best Law Firm 2025, and Private M&A Firm of the Year 2025 as Exhibit A. I love that.
It's not a bad haul. Look, the sort of social proof and credibility is is fantastic. And but it's not why we do what we do. It's fantastic to get recognition, and actually we're up for a few more awards in a couple of weeks' time, which is really exciting. Um, but it's not why we do what we do. And yeah, just getting back to the progress that we were able to make in 2025.
What what
Um,
what were some of the fundamental challenges like in your leadership and management that you overcame? Like I think one of the things you said at the beginning of this that's been a game changer for you is no longer being on the tools. So you now don't do any billable work.
no, not unless I really choose to.
Choose to. Fair enough. Yeah.
There are, there are a couple of times where sometimes, my involvement is either necessary or I really want to get into a case. I still love being a lawyer. I still love practicing law. But I'm not sort of reactive or beholden to anybody. And that to the credit of the team is because the team is now running as a pretty well-oiled machine in 2026. Everybody knows their their roles, their responsibilities, who they're accountable to. Um, that is something that is an ongoing thing. You have to, and we will review it again in 2026 as we start the new financial year. You have to keep on top of that stuff.
Mm,
So our focus for this next quarter is all about making the business work operationally well. That is also necessary because we've got this new structure. The membership is has taken a huge amount of effort to put together because it from all aspects of it, like how do you get the client onboarded all the way through to how do you deliver the work within the pricing structure that we've come up with. So it is something that you have to constantly address as a scaling firm evolves. Have you got the right bums on seats?
yeah.
Do they know what the kind of reporting lines are, what their parameters are? Um, um, and it's, that in itself is quite hard work, but it's
Could you could you
but it's
could you
really
have got that?
rewarding.
Could you have got all that set up and running if you were still doing billing work
No,
primarily?
obviously not.
Yeah, right.
It's impossible. It is impossible. But I think it's more than just leaders that need to look at this now. I also think there's a huge amount of pressure in the legal industry for people to be lawyers, administrators, compliance officers, marketers, etc., etc. So
Mm,
and I recognize that, and that's why it's so important that you as the managing director is my current title, um, are able to get off the tools so that you can address those problems, and give your colleagues the right amount of support. It's not just about you, but you have to start with number one. You have to start with you because if you don't do it, then they can't follow. They don't have the space to
mm,
grow. Our team is now developing into, the talent is just exploding out of people now, and it's a real joy to see because they've got that freedom, which could only have come from me stepping away from doing client work. And it's not just as easy as saying, um, I'm just not going to do any more client work. You have to effectively delegate the work, and you have to entrust people with the responsibility to deliver. It's about bringing in uh, your team to those client conversations early. If a task is on my desk, but I it shouldn't be on my desk, then clearly communicating what needs to happen, by whom, by when. Um,
So yeah,
uh,
so what you're speaking about here is getting good at making clear requests of exactly what you want doing and by when, agreeing deadlines.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, of course, the other classic thing, setting up weekly one-on-ones. And during those one-on-ones is where you then hold people accountable on their agreements, but also in a supportive way to make sure that everyone gets the support to really excel in their roles, which is how you've got everyone's performance elevated, right?
Yeah, and then you delegate the so the our litigation team, for example, was having one-to-ones with people on a regular basis. They now have one-to-ones with and delegate people uh, to people in within their teams. So they're but those meetings are incredibly focused. And it's meant that rather than doing so I've now gone from sort of weekly one-to-ones with people to perhaps monthly or quarterly, which gives me more time and space. They don't need it. They're perfectly capable of running their desk, you know, uh, and flourishing in their own way. But we still have check-ins because it's important to make sure that people are still on track and what have you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that has now given me so I've now stepped away from because it's not that it replaced the fee earning work, but suddenly I'm trying to have one-to-ones with everybody, and that's suddenly taking up quite a lot of time. So I've moved away from that as well, and it's uh yeah, well the figures speak for themselves. So.
Yeah, you've got 46% revenue increase whilst maintaining the same headcount.
Yeah, and I think that will grow and grow. And actually, more importantly, the value in Adam Benedict is going to increase because I am now, um, because I'm separated from the fee earning work, I am now able to work on things that generate value
Yeah.
as the owner of the business should. And that's not just relationships, it's productizing our services. It's we're looking to create basically a diaspora of Adam Benedict companies that can provide different services. Um, to become a true multidisciplinary practice, and perhaps one day even multi-jurisdictional. Um,
And I think
that's a personal goal
one
within the
one of
next
the
couple of
things
years.
one of the things I've loved seeing you achieve is going from being really fearful of big boardroom meetings, speaking in meetings, and even more so speaking on stage in front of people. And now you're
Mm.
invited to speak on the biggest stages of the Clio events, aren't you?
Do you know what? I love it now. It it's my favorite thing, and it's not because I just uh want to carry on waffling as I realize I'm doing now. It's um I think that I've got quite a lot to share, um and I love going to those events and then meeting people and hearing their perspectives, and we're in a unique position, right? Because we've built our firm on tech, with the amazing support of companies like Clio. Um, uh, and so we're a few steps ahead of sometimes. So I've got things that are genuinely interesting to say to other people, but also I love helping people. I am a trait empath. And so, when firm owners come up to me after these panel discussions and things, and they go, "Well, how have you done it?" Uh, I get so much joy out of having those conversations and trying to help people. And um, I'm not suggesting for 1 second I'm going to become a coach suddenly because I don't have your skill set, Dan. But I do think I've got experience,
Yeah,
and I think we've had a lot
you
of challenges.
yeah, with the fundamental communication skills you've now got in leadership and management, it is grounded in coaching. You can, you're now able to listen to a team member, get what they're really saying behind what they're actually saying, leave them
Mm.
feeling heard, and then guide them to find a solution, not tell them what to do, and guide them to find a solution themselves, and then go and implement it and excel in their performance. That
Yeah,
you can do that. And that's a skill you've got for life now, right?
yeah, for sure. I mean, I still it, but also I've got time available to. I love thinking outside of the box.
And I think that point, I've now got the time. That's what's
Yeah,
amazing. There's a 46%
yeah.
revenue increase, and I've got the time. What impact has that had on your life, having that time, like on your health, relationships?
I have partnered with a coach called Matt Cooper at Evolve, who I've been working with for 6 months now, and I've lost, which I would not have had time to do, and I've lost. I think it's approaching, yeah, it's about 12 kilos now
Wow, you look
since
so
October.
slim. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, it's hard work, but but great. And I definitely wouldn't have had the time to do that. I have more time with my children. I'm actually calmer and better with my family now. I have more control over my temper. I drink less. Um, and yeah, I get to do some of the stuff that I want to do. We're taking family holidays, which we would have done.
Without a
We
laptop.
we would have done before, but I would have definitely taken my laptop for sure, and had to. Otherwise, you breach deadlines, you're in all sorts of trouble. So, yeah, that's been great. I make time to play musical instruments now. Sort of taken up a bit of swimming when I go to our local gym. So yeah, I'm in a much healthier place. I eat well. When you're so focused on the client work, it's just easy to tap on the Deliveroo icon and order yourself something and just, oh, I haven't got time to cook. I've got time to cook now,
Yeah.
you know?
Nice, nice.
It
Wow.
sounds so
So,
simple. It sounds so simple, but
yeah,
it takes a lot of focused energy and effort with the help of someone to hold you to account to actually get to the end goal.
yeah, yeah. Fabulous. It's been such an honor for me to be able to work with you and to see you succeed like this, and to see you just now jet setting all over the world as a speaker, leading a law firm that's winning awards,
Mhm.
your impact in the legal sector with your ideas and innovation in technology. It's just so great to see. What's your advice to anyone watching this who's kind of heard of me or seen me posting or thought about having a conversation with me, who's a law firm owner that's a bit overwhelmed or has perhaps plateaued for a few years and isn't getting the growth they want?
Well, I'm Exhibit A, and yeah, happy to have a chat with anybody about working with Dan. You'll be supported on a daily basis if you need to. There sometimes late at night, sometimes early in the morning, but certainly once a week. It's really valuable insight, and it just when you're struggling and you feel like you're drowning, um, it, I used to look forward to those weekly catch-up calls with you, although we would text all the time, but those weekly catch-up calls were great because it was like somebody offering a bit of a life raft at times. Um, when you were drowning in work and then resetting, refocusing and going, okay, all this noise is happening around me, but this is the one thing I've got to achieve this week.
Yeah.
And slowly, every single time you do that, you're taking off another shackle.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, I would say do it. It's life changing.
Adam, thanks so much for your time. I'm looking forward to staying in touch and meeting you out and about in London again soon.
Indeed, me too. Thanks very much, Dan.
Cheers.